Recently, there has been this new movement about not finding your passion, not following your passion. And it comes from a lot of recent thought leaders like Cal Newport and his book, So Good They Can't Ignore You, as well as very recent TED Talks from people like Ashley Stowe. And the basis behind this is that a lot of millennials and younger people are being told to find their passion, and they're hitting the other end of the extreme where some of them are just being way too picky. Others are just they're so deluded by this that they follow pathways where they're just never going to be skilled at it. For instance, uh, some people love to sing, but they really suck at singing, and they just have no talent at it whatsoever and no skill at it at all. Even if they practice for the next 100,000 years, they'll still be tone deaf. So really, I would like to say that they're not really telling you not to follow your passion, but understand that some things should be left to hobbies if you really don't have that potential to turn them into a valuable skill set, because the emphasis is on at least recognizing other fields that are important too. The competition, your potential to be good at that skill set, and your actual ability to get there and be helpful to other people uh, in a profession that they want to pay at. So those are multiple things. So let's break all those down. So competition. The more fun a specific skill or passion is, guess what? More people want that job. And that's why it's very, very competitive. Like it or not, that's the truth. That's how it works. So if you want to be a rapper or an artist or a musician or world traveler, you're now competing against 10 times more people because more people want to do that versus be a plumber or accountant. So you have to keep that in mind. The competition is there, and therefore you actually have to be skilled enough. The next thing would just be skill. And then the next thing, of course, is not just potential of skill, but actually getting there eventually. Because you may have that potential, but if you never develop that skill quick enough, or at some point in your life to be of use, then you will never actually be of use, and no one will pay you. And of course, the last one to recognize is people paying you. If you aren't doing something that people are willing to pay for, it doesn't matter how skilled you are. You could be the most skilled potato chip eater. You could eat the most hot dogs or burgers or pizzas in the world. And if no one's really willing to pay you enough for you to live, it doesn't matter how skilled you are. So I think ultimately what that's saying is that certain things are left to be hobbies. If you just really suck at surfing, that's surfing point blank is not where you're at. Maybe, arguably, you could turn that into something where it's somewhat related. So maybe you could be a surfing, like a surfing, not surfing, a surfing strategist or commentator. Maybe you can be one of those, sports professional commentators, the ones that talk while people play sports on TV. But even then, those things are competitive. So you have to keep those things in mind. And I do think a healthy medium should be allowed. Even to this day, I think most of the world, especially in third world countries, they're still stuck in this place where they're taught and they believe and they act to a point of extreme practicality and extreme risk aversion, which I don't think is always the best approach. And ultimately, especially if you do that in places like first world countries where you don't have to, there's a lot of regret and stuff. People who have been taught by their parents. I see this a lot in Asian American parents. They're so risk averse that all their life they just stick with a very restrained topic. I see this a lot in Indians too. So they become like a computer programmer, and they trade their hours for dollars, and they're just an employee. and they die with that regret of never trying anything else or doing something they're passionate about, like starting a business that could lead to something great that pays well as well. And that's what separates the people like Jeff Bezos, who quit his job to start Amazon.com, versus the risk-averse Indian. Again, that's just a stereotype. Not every Indian is like that, but I do see a lot like that. So the point is, of course, you still want to follow your passion to a certain extent and not be so risk-averse. But at the same spectrum, there has been a surprisingly new movement of backlash from the other extreme of overly pickiness and not recognizing other areas that are worthy of your attention. Those of which that I've just mentioned. Things like, can you actually be good at that? Is it something that actually people will pay for? So keep those in mind. Thanks for watching this video. And of course, if you're new to this channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below for free videos. And I will see you later. Peace.